How many of you have met people who cannot take no for an answer? They are very toxic when it comes to rejections. I personally suffered and still have somewhere rejection issues, but I'm not toxic. And these people hold it against you even if you are somebody who rejects people in the most respectful manner. Because at the end of the day, I'm talking to people who respect people for who they are, irrespective of what they have. First, the most obvious sign, they get defensive about rejection, and this can also be feedback. Notice if they accept it and understand the fact that you've got freedom of thought, freedom of words, and you are being respectful. It's different if you're being disrespectful and cocky because you're able to reject somebody because you think you can, and they can bite back. But if you are somebody who is good and nice and sweet and respectful about it, don't expect the other person to be nice to you as well. Because unfortunately, if you are non-egotistical, you're dealing with somebody who's filled with ego. And God forbid, if nobody's told them no ever, and if you're the one who's saying no to them, get ready for something coming your way. And let's talk about it in the next point. Second, these are the worst type of people. These people accept rejection in your face so nicely, and they actually appreciate the fact that you are honest about your feelings. And this does not only have to be love, but behind your back, they're cooking up a whole scheme and plot for how they can bring you down just because you were honest with them about what your thoughts and feelings are. And sometimes it's not even about them why you reject them. It's about your own mental space and peace. But they take that as an attack, and they are so immature. And in all honesty, they think that you don't want them. And if that's what they think, that's their problem, go work on you. Third, have you ever noticed when you reject somebody, they switch off completely and they are suddenly gone from hot to cold with you? They act like you do not exist. And if it is a situation where you guys have to be in front of each other, suddenly the whole energy changes, their voice, their tone, the way they move around you changes, either because they found somebody else to use and you were just somebody that they were latching on to take them on to the next step. But when you said no, they were like, okay, bye, because they have somebody else already in the pipeline to help them get to the next part, and then they'll drop them. So basically, they see people as transactions who they can take and let go. These are people who are spoiled and who've never been told no. So you got to understand if this is an opportunist in the name of it. Next, there's a fine line between being emotionally open with somebody when they reject you and somebody actually sharing the feelings to you so that they can let it go and vent to you. That's different. But notice those people will guilt trip you because you are rejecting them, almost like you are missing out in your life just because you do not have them around you. And that's one of the key reasons why you're letting them go, because that is toxic behavior. You should be able to be self-sufficient, and you should have a partner who will help you grow. And that can be friendships, lovers, colleagues, whatever. But if there is somebody who keeps putting fear in your mind, because if I'm not around you, I don't think this is going to work out for you, that won't work out for you. And if they don't do it straight away, they do it so slyly that you automatically think, I need this person. But when you finally realize you never needed this person, and you tell them exactly for what it is because you see for who they are and what they are and they've been manipulating you, they can't take it. That's how they guilt trip you. People can guilt trip you for the way they're related to you, for the amount of years you've known each other. Or you may not know each other at all, but somewhere, somehow they feel you're responsible for their emotions. If you're doing for the best of you and everybody involved, keep at it. Another clear sign of people who can't take rejections positively are those people who will air your dirty laundry to anybody and everybody. If there is anything that they know about you, even if that is 1% true, they would make it like they know everything about you, literally malice and slander you completely. So this is beyond just talking behind your back. These people have no loyalty. And this can be in conversations between your friend circle, in your colleagues, in your personal professional life, doesn't matter. And if you are a man or a woman, and if this is in the love department, be ready for them to tell the world that they've been sleeping with you, sexing you and everything when you don't even know who the are. People will take rejection personally if you do not pay attention, and in those moments you'd want to speak up, get involved. Don't get involved. You do not indulge where you do not belong. Just speak your truth. Next, a person who cannot take rejection well will never be able to truly accept help. In a way, if you are trying to help this person just because you want to be the best version of you along with them, and you want to push them as well to be the potential that you see in them, but somewhere, somehow, ego is so high up there, they think that you helping them is you pitying them. So in a way, they see help as rejection. They feel they're too good to receive help. And unfortunately, these people sometimes want to be vulnerable and they want help, but because they've been so reliant on self for so long, and because they've been detesting people who help them to a point, they attack them knowingly or unknowingly, people stop helping them. Sadly, in situations like this, people who can't accept help, they end up pushing you away because you remind them of being rejected, and they do not accept help from you, and you don't understand why you're being pushed away. Next, this never gets old. When you reject somebody of the same or the opposite sex, they will try to compete with you somewhere or the other. If you cannot avoid this person, then they will be very competitive in your face, and you will know that there is something going on between you two, and you can no longer trust this person, because now they would take any moment and every moment to bring you down, and this can be behind your back or in your face. And if they're doing it behind your back, they're also cowards. And if this is somebody you do not have to meet every day, and you can easily cut them off if needed, these are the people who will try to ape your life of what they've seen and experienced with you, to a point where they start thinking that they are you and they live your life, but they're not living your life. That's why they compete with you, because they take your rejection personal, and they think that you think that they are not as good as you, when you, on the other hand, don't even think that way, and nobody is better than the other at the end of the day, because everybody has their own gifts. Next, someone has rejection issues is when they low-key or high-key compare you to somebody else, and that will end up hurting you so much more, because you're not rejecting with any negative intentions, but they feel that you are rejecting them with negative intentions, probably because they are those type of people and they're projecting on you. And therefore, when you reject them, they want to make sure that they make you feel so small about you that they will directly or indirectly compare you with somebody else, or start venting of how much time has been wasted behind you, and make you feel like you are and were nothing to invest in. And that hurts you, because you didn't reject them with bad intentions, but just doing the right thing for you, and they didn't do that respectfully with you. Lastly and finally, people with rejection issues will never contribute in the relationship fully. Even if they start with giving you anything and everything that you ask for, this relationship will reach a level where it's imbalanced, to a point where you are constantly giving. You're so scared that you're going to leave them or you're them for some other reason, or something that they're doing will come out in the light. So therefore, before they get attached, they detach, and you don't even know what the fuck happened. These are the type of people who have serious rejection issues, and therefore they leave people before you can leave them, in whatever capacity that may be. People will not take rejections well, and they will do anything and everything in their power to attack you, to end you. And this can be physically, or this can be spiritually, or this can be emotionally or mentally. Personally, if you're in a place where you can explain to somebody as to why you rejected them or why you're rejecting them, that's good, because a lot of mental trauma and anxiety can reduce if you are able to speak to somebody openly and transparently. And if you are that person who normally speaks openly and says it as it is in the most empathic and sweetest manner that you can, without hurting their feelings, but if they still turn around and betray you, you don't need to give them a second thought. You don't even need to explain anything to them. I love you.